Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Hanny, and today I want to share with you how I set up my bullet journal for February 2020. If you watched my previous Bujo video, you might have known that I would want to do this at the beginning of January 2020 and showed you how I set up my bullet journal, but because of lighting issues and my camera settings and all these things, I couldn't do it. So today I'm going to show you how I set up my February bullet journal. I started my page with a drawing of a different version of me. You could call it like an alter ego probably, but I read about this alter ego exercise in some books, which I would link down below. I think the idea is that, sometimes you think you are not capable of doing things. Maybe you feel like you're not brave enough, you're not adventurous enough, you're not courageous enough, you're not creative enough. It's kind of like there is a part of us that says, I'm not made for that, or I'm not good for that. But the idea of having an alter ego is basically to imagine that there is another version of yourself that owns a certain skills, characteristics, or qualities, who is actually living a different kind of life than the one you're living right now. So every month I draw a version of myself that is basically me, or the alter ego of myself that is possessing some qualities that I thought I would want to have. So in February, I draw myself as this girl boss persona because I feel like in February a lot of things will happen, a lot of movement. I'll be traveling and also sorting out some papers and documents. I will be opening my shop and start working on my art and concentrating more on creating things to sell and maybe organize workshops and all these things. So I feel like this is the month where I really need the girl boss persona. I think she's someone that is really confident. She checked all her to-do list. She's focused and disciplined. The girl boss is, at the same time wants to achieve things. She's productive and all, but she's also calm and zen. Even though there are so many things happening in her life, she stays calm, she stays cool, and at the same time she's doing all the things she needs to do with such confidence. And yeah, that's my alter ego for February. And for January last month, my alter ego was actually the version of myself as an artist, because I think last month I really wanted to develop a creative habit even more. I mean, I have been developing creative habits in my life, but I wanted to really do a lot of drawing practice and stuff and really look for inspirations. And yeah, so the artist was my alter ego for January, and for February is this girl boss persona. And next page I have my check-in and intention page. So check-in is basically at the beginning of the month. I will basically write down about how I feel, and then intention is more about what I wish this month would look like. On the next page I have the list page, and the list page is basically consisting of only two things. Basically the list of books that I read and the list of courses I participate in. I I am an avid reader, so usually I read about 5 to 10 books a month. It's a combination between fiction and nonfiction, like young adult novels. I love young adult novels, and also some self-development books, and also courses. I love Skillshare and Domestika. I will link them down below. So I learn a lot of creative stuff from these two sites, and I want to track what kind of courses that I participate in. The gratitude page is also one of my most important page, and I have been practicing gratitude and daily gratitude for years, and I really appreciate the simple habit, the simple practice, because every morning before I start my day, I would sit down and open my bullet journal, and this is the first page that I would go to, and I just list down some gratitudes, like I'm healthy, that's something I'm grateful for, or I feel warm, that's also something I'm grateful for. A cup of coffee, that's something that feels like a blessing to me. So a lot of these small things, but it's nice to feel grateful every day. This is my idea page, and I don't think everybody should have this idea page the way I set it up, because the way I set it up is that I write all the dates of the month, because my mind is very busy, and every time I watch something or hear something or read something, I would have some ideas on things to do. And it's not only related to, ideas for content or ideas for my art, but sometimes ideas for a product or ideas for some other things, like business ideas that might not even be for me, but maybe it's something that I can relate to someone else. Because my mind is so busy, I write my idea page this way, because most of the times every day I would get some ideas to do something or to make something or create something, and yeah, I just need a place to write them all down. And on the other page, then the next page is my content ideas. So this is really just like a dumping ground for me. Every time I have ideas related to content, those ideas will go here. So later I can see whether I want to use these contents for Instagram or YouTube or for my blog. And this is my February monthly overview, or February outlook, or monthly log, in a way that I separated into 2 columns: work stuff and personal stuff. So here I will usually write down some deadlines or due dates, things I need to do, or any appointments or events that I have to attend. But I do not write all the deadlines or all the appointments. Normally, this page is for due dates, deadlines, events, and appointments that are not happening, that are not usually happening in my life, if you get what I mean. So, for instance, like if I have a client on a retainer basis that I have to submit my work every Friday, for instance, I do not write it on this monthly overview. This is only for things that are not happening, are not usually happening on a regular basis, so that I have some notes on when these things are happening. And on the next page is quite self-explanatory. It's my income expense tracker, and I don't have a lot of expenses on a monthly basis, actually, apart from some regular ones, and probably get some stationeries or stuff. So for me, this page is going to be very short, so usually I only use up like half of the page for my income expense tracker, but I also provide some space underneath and keep it empty, just in case I have more income source or expenses on that particular month. But usually for me, half of this page is enough to record everything. So yeah, that's how I set up my February bullet journal, and I would love to see your setup for February 2020 or even your 2020 bullet journal. So if you have any videos, blog posts, or even Instagram posts showing your bullet journal and how you set it up for 2020 or specifically for February 2020, please leave your link down below. I will be so happy to see how you set up yours, and I hope you enjoy this bullet journaling video and probably get some inspiration for your bullet journal. And I wish you a great February. I'm wishing you a February full of love and warmth and cozy journaling time, and I will see you around. Thank you for watching. Bye.